So today is 24th March of 2020 and I am at home. I am not in the office. Um, we all know what's going on. We have the COVID-19 coronavirus, stroke coronavirus outbreak pandemic, which is going on in the world, and we are all advised to stay at home. So I hope you're staying at home as you're watching this. So I thought that I should use this time to make this kind of videos, have a conversation with creators who are also at home because we cannot content create right now. We can't travel and we can't do anything. So I thought I should call up my friends and creators that I know that I admire and that I think are doing a really good job and just have a conversation with them. And also, if I don't do anything when I'm at home, I'm going to lose my mind. Yeah. So our first guest for today is Andre Josephs on Instagram. I call him Joe, and Joe is a travel photographer, and he's also a mountaineer. He has climbed to Mount Kenya for so many times, and I have seen him share his experiences on Instagram. And I have got to know him, and we've met before. And I thought I should start this series with him as episode number one. So I'm going to call Joe right now, and you're going to have a Skype conversation, record it, and then share it with you guys. And I hope to do this more. So hopefully I'm going to do like 2 or 3 in a week until this whole thing is over. And if it catches on and if you like it, I might do it more often, even after post coronavirus and all that. So yes, let's do this. Let me call Joe right now and then you can have a conversation with Joe. Yeah. On. Hey,
Hey,
how
bro.
are you? It's working now.
Good. That's good. I'm
Yeah,
good. How are you?
good. I'm good. I can see the sling on your arm, man. What?
Yeah. I'm not supposed to take it off unless I'm showering,
Uh-huh.
changing clothes.
So what happened? Tell me what happened. I saw on your Instagram story when you're explaining it, but like I didn't get the whole story. So tell me
So
what happened.
what happened was it was me and 3 clients, so we didn't have any like porters, so we were doing this by ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
So cooking for ourselves, carrying everything ourselves. So we were up the mountain for 5 days. That was the plan, anyway.
So just for context, that was you climbing on Kenya with clans. How many weeks ago was it?
Friday the 13th, so that was last week.
So yeah,
Right.
10, 11 days ago, more or
Yeah.
less. 11 days
Yeah.
ago.
And day 3 was the day that we were to go to a hut called Austrian Hut. So this hut is at the base of Nelion. We were not doing Lenana, we were doing Nelion and Batian, the 2 highest peaks in Kenya. And those require climbing with ropes. So on day 3, the climb was supposed to start on day 4. So day 3, we arrived at Austrian Hut early. So we started to go and explore. I wanted to take them to the Lewis Glacier so that they can see it. And we just started walking to the base. So we decided to go and leave all the stuff there so that in the morning it's just walking and starting. So we carried all the heavy gear and we went to the base. Well, we started climbing a bit, took some pictures, saw the sunset, and then started descending.
Yeah.
Um, and on the way down, I was in front. I was quite a bit in front, looking for the best path to use down because there's no path. You just have to,
Fine.
find your way around.
Yeah.
And I stepped on a rock, and there was a big group of rocks, and they just started coming down, and
Hmm.
they swept me off
What?
and carried me around and threw me on my shoulder. So it's quite steep, so it's like this. So I was upside down, looking up, and my shoulder is dislocated, so I'm just writhing in pain.
Mhm.
I can't move, and I'm like jammed in this rock. And then I saw a rock tumbling down towards, my torso and my head. And then my leg was up, so my leg got caught,
Yeah.
it twisted, and that rock stopped, so it didn't move anymore. And then the guys just helped me out. I spent the night because we were to call a helicopter, but the helicopter can't come at night.
It was
So,
after
yeah,
sunset, close to
yeah,
sunset.
yeah. So we, from my accident point up to Austrian Hut, it takes around 20 to 30 minutes to walk,
Okay.
but it took us 3.5 hours to get back. Um, because of the pain that if you've never dislocated a shoulder,
I have never.
the pain is unbearable. It
But you're so
doesn't.
lucky because it could have been worse.
Yeah, yeah. It's unbelievable. I don't take anything for granted now. So it changed my life, I can say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember it very well. It's Friday the 13th, and the accident happened at around 6:12, 6:15. Then,
And
yeah,
so that happened. You
yeah,
went to hospital, and now you're home. You can't climb.
I
Um,
can't. The doctor said, so 3 weeks I'm supposed to wear my sling.
yeah,
I'm not supposed to do any heavy lifting with this arm. I'm not supposed to do anything much, really,
yeah,
uh, just in case, because if you have a dislocated shoulder, you have a risk of a repeat dislocation.
yeah.
So it may pop back out, which I don't want. So I need to stay with the sling up to the 6th of April and then go to the doctor and start my therapy so that I get my strength back.
So when did you start mountain climbing and
So,
mountaineering?
so my first hike was in 2015
Yeah,
uh, in September. That
mhm,
was my hike.
yeah.
And then I went back again and again, not knowing that I will do this professionally someday. But I started doing this now seriously in 2017. That's when now I started my journey as a porter
Mhm.
and eventually as a guide.
Oh, nice. So it's been professionally
From 20,
3 years, almost 3 years.
2017, yeah, yes. Professionally, that's 3 years. Yeah,
So you have, I'm sure you have a record of how many climbs so far,
105.
including the fall.
Yeah, yeah, including the last
Oh,
one.
that's a lot.
Yeah,
So when you started in 2015 as so you started as just as a tourist, and then
yeah,
you kind of got
just
into it.
yeah.
And when did you merge the two? With because you also do photography as well, and I like your Instagram page because it shows it's purely mountain pics,
Yeah,
and they are taken in a way that it's not, it can't be it, this can't be Mount Kenya, then like, oh, okay, wow, then it's Mount Kenya.
yeah.
So when did you decide to mix the two? Did you first become a photographer and then did mountaineering? How did you merge the two?
So I've always been a lover of so photography is a hobby for me.
Mhm.
That's yeah, that's a key piece of information. So I am a hobbyist photographer from the beginning. I have been a hobbyist photographer, and photography is what makes me the most happy.
Yeah.
Um, Mountaineering aside, that came later. So I've been taking pictures for a long time. Anything that could take a photo, I could use it. We still have a film camera at home that we used. We don't have films anymore, but I used to take pictures of everything, of
Kodak.
grass.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And I used, I loved photography from the first time I took a picture myself. So deciding to fuse mountaineering with photography came when I purchased my first smartphone. And when I did that, I used to just take pictures, just mundane pictures of the mountain and share them with my friends.
Mhm.
And I used to tell them, this is, where this is? This is Kenya. And they didn't believe me. I told them, this is Kenya, this is me. So they used to believe me when I showed them a selfie of myself,
Mhm.
uh, like in it. When I got those reactions, that's when I saw, okay, this is something I can really do and show the world that our country really has this like hidden gem just in the middle of the country. Um, and since then, since the beginning of sharing my pictures on Instagram, because my journey on Instagram started in 2016, of like sharing like pictures of Mount Kenya,
Okay.
and since then it has evolved. If you look at my old pictures, I used to take them with my phone, and then I bought my camera, and then yeah, from there it has been. That's how we've connected with very many people just via Instagram.
I've seen a photo on Instagram I want to show you
Yeah.
on your page.
Okay.
Yeah, there's this photo you uploaded of a
Well, yeah.
leopard, and I was reading through your your caption. You're saying how people don't believe you when you tell them, and I
Hmm,
had a
yeah.
similar experience with my last video. of me sharing about my experience with a lion, and people are like, they don't believe. And I'm going to call out Rioba because you know her and I know her.
Yeah.
And she thought that it was a lie until I had to prove it. Give me some of the experiences that you experienced during your climbs, that if you didn't have proof they happened, people would
Yeah.
not believe you.
Yeah. It's funny because my experiences with leopards have been one, two, three. There were three, but there are two that stand out. So the first one, I was at a lake, Lake Michelson, and I was just I was alone at the shores, so I was taking this image I've always loved to take, and it was in the evening, so it was at 7 p.m. So it was a bit dark, but the light was still there. So I zoomed in, and in my camera, I could see like a cat-like figure moving across the camera. It was dark. I didn't have my phone with me, so I couldn't record my viewfinder.
So
And
you
I
could see the nocturnal eyes of a
yeah,
cat in the dark.
yeah, I could just see a tail and a figure. It was quite big. I was not like shocked. I was surprised that I've actually seen it. Um, Now I was rushing to tell the others because the others were just seated at the camp. And I just took my camera and ran because I was starting to get chills.
Mhm.
Because when I saw it, I thought that there may be some other leopard lurking in the grass, and the grass
Yeah, yeah.
you can't. So I just had a chill and just rushed back, and I told everyone, and they were just looking at me like, "Okay, you saw a leopard? We've been climbing this mountain for 20 years. We've never seen one." So they believe there are leopards, but they've never actually seen them.
Yeah.
So I even had like a moment of self-doubt, like, have I actually seen a leopard?
Was it a leopard?
Yeah, but I was sure that that
Yeah,
was it.
I
And
believe you because um,
yes,
yeah, because I've been in such a situation before where I have to prove,
yeah,
I have to, to prove to people that
yeah.
something happened.
And
Yes.
I didn't have any solid, like concrete proof to. I was just like, yeah, that's where now I knew when Moshai took that picture, because the credits of that photo go to Moshai. When he took that photo, I was very happy. So now
Like,
I'm
like,
not crazy anymore.
give me a mountaineering guide. So let's say today, because I really want to do it,
Yeah.
assuming we want to climb tomorrow morning. So where do we begin? So give me a typical guide.
So first of all, you need equipment before you even consider going up the mountain. So there are two things you need um, to remember. Mount Kenya is very cold at night and very hot during the day. As long as the sun is out, since Mount Kenya is literally on the equator, it is quite hot during the day. So people tend to think it's the same at night, but it's not. So at night, temperatures drop to 0 and then to -5. And then on rare occasions, it will drop to -10.
That's cold.
So for that, you need to have warm gear with you. There are some big jackets called puff jackets that get bigger. They have like feathers inside, so they get bigger the colder you get. You also need like extra layers, like a jumper or fleeces like these, and then you also need t-shirts, like breathable t-shirts like this, not cotton. Cotton, when it gets wet,
Hmm.
can't dry
Yeah.
up. So you need this breathable. So when this gets wet because of the sweat, so you can just put it out and you can just dry very quickly.
Okay.
So you also need very, very good gloves, thick gloves. Good gloves you will know because they have two layers: outside, a waterproof layer, and inside, like a wool soft layer that keeps you warm. You also need sun cream because the higher you go, the stronger the sun. So you need sun cream, sunglasses, a good cap to protect your face. You also need good hiking boots. Good hiking boots normally have protect your ankles, so they go up and protect your ankles just in case you slip. They
Okay.
protect your
We don't sprain
yeah
your ankle.
yeah because Mount Kenya is a high altitude mountain. It's 4,985
Yeah.
banana, so that's quite high. So once you get your kit together, you need to reflect and think, okay, have I been to a high altitude mountain before? In Kenya, we have several, high altitude mountains like Satima in the Aberdares. We also have Elephant Hill.
Mhm.
So if you've been to those, then you may know how altitude feels like. High altitude,
Mhm.
you may get a headache. You may feel like your ears are popping, like you're on a plane.
Or
You may,
ear pressure. Like
yeah,
you. Okay.
because the higher you go, the lower the air pressure.
Yeah.
So the thing with altitude is that you have to be acclimated. By acclimated, that means that your body has to naturally adjust to the altitude.
Yeah.
So that's why you don't wake up one day and say, "Let me go to a big mountain tomorrow." Your chances of success uh, may be low. So you need to do pre-preparations by doing pre-hikes.
So you'd recommend someone to first do those smaller mountains before
Yeah, do like two.
to do like two before doing one.
Well, yeah, because Mount Kenya, don't get it wrong. Mount Kenya is quite challenging,
Hmm.
and if you're unprepared, most people who I've seen are unprepared mentally. So you're hiking for 8 hours a day in like some days, and if you've never done that before, then you will have a very, very big problem and a miserable time. So what these pre-hike preparations do, they build up your endurance. So you may be going to the gym, you may be lifting weights, you may be fit, but you need endurance. You
Oh,
need to be able to hike for more than 5 hours, like in a day.
wow.
So yeah,
Okay.
that,
I thought you
it's a,
just need to be physically fit and that's it.
no, no, not really. No, I've seen people just give up because they feel like you look at them, they're very fit, and they say they go to the gym,
Uh-huh.
but they don't have endurance. They can't endure a challenging hike.
Mm.
That's what I always repeat to potential hikers. Make sure you build up your endurance by doing pre-hikes. Do it with your friends, do it with your family, do it alone, and see how far your body can actually go.
And how many days does it take? So like a typical climb Mount Kenya.
A typical climb takes 4 days. So that's there is a route called Sirimon route, which we use to go up. It's the most common route. From Nairobi to Nanyuki is a 3 hour drive.
Yeah.
So you arrive in Nanyuki around 10:30. And then from Nanyuki to Sirimon Gate is a 40-minute drive.
Okay.
So you should be at the Sirimon Gate, considering that you've done some activities in Nanyuki
Yeah.
at lunchtime. So that's why we have lunch at the gate. So you
Before you begin the hike.
Yes, you have lunch and then you hike um, to Old Moses. So normally the crew, you normally just have your guide or your assistant guide or both, because the other crew is going ahead so that they prepare something. Once you arrive in every camp, you have a meal prepared, you have some tea, and then you enjoy a sunset and then have dinner. So that's your day one. You sleep at Old Moses, either camping. You have two options at Old Moses, either camping in your tents or in the actual cabins. So you wake up on day two, you wake up at 6, have breakfast at 6:30, watching the sunrise, and then you leave at 7. The reason why we leave at 7 is so that you have the whole day to hike. This is a long day because from Old Moses to Shipton's camp is 3,300 to 4,200. So that's a 900-meter elevation.
Elevation.
So we hike slow. So that's a big elevation in terms of altitude to do in one day. And the distance is 14 kilometers. So we normally do that in around 6.5, 7, maybe the slowest pace will be 8 hours.
Okay.
Yeah, to make it to Shipton's camp. It's normally a long day, but it's a relatively easy day because you're hiking up and down valleys.
Hmm.
Yeah, and then you have lunch on the way. 2 to 5, that's the grace period of getting to Shipton's. If you get any later than that, then you're late and you're slow. So that means something either went wrong or you left Old Moses late.
So
So
when you get there, that's it for the day.
yes, that's it for the day. So you're now saving your energy for tomorrow because the summit day is the hardest day. Don't let anybody tell you different. The summit day is normally the most challenging day. The tradition is we wake up at 2 a.m.
Hmm.
We have some tea. We normally don't have breakfast at this time because you don't have an appetite. Your dinner is still in your stomach, so we don't have breakfast. So after you have some tea, because sunrise is at 6:30, we like to leave at 3. So that gives us 3.5 hours to play with so that we just, hike. Pole pole. Our motto is pole pole, just hike slowly and you will be okay. So this is normally now where your mental mental fitness will be tested, because Mount Kenya demands respect, first of all, and it's a quite challenging mountain in a way that it throws these challenges at you during the summit day. So sometimes your legs feel like they're not working anymore because you're out of oxygen,
Mhm.
and you have to, like, every step you make, it's quite challenging. It's a real challenge. So this is where now you start contemplating and thinking. I see like people start saying, "Why am I doing this? I would be cozy in my bed now."
That's
Um,
where endurance comes in.
yeah, these are all like challenges. These are all minute challenges where your body, your mind goes to its comfort zone.
Mhm.
Like you start thinking about a warm bed and you're outside just hiking in this cold weather, but you make it anyway. With good guidance, you make it to the summit, and watching the sunrise from Lenana, that's it's nothing that anyone else can describe to you.
But
It's
here's the
just you
thing.
have to
Uh-huh.
see it yourself.
But you're hiking at night. Isn't it
Yeah,
risky? Early in the morning. Like isn't
yeah.
that risky? You're not seeing where you're going. Because it's it's like
I, the
3 a.m.
guide is the guide is seeing where they're going, and the
and
guide
you can meet
knows
a
the way.
leopard as well.
Yeah, potentially, but that's, leopards will always be there. That's what I always say,
Mhm.
and other creatures, because we are visitors to this mountain, and there are those things that own the mountain. We're just visiting and passing through.
For people who don't know, Mount Kenya is a national park,
Yeah,
where you can find a wide range of wildlife. So the leopards, as you mentioned, the buffalo.
there are elephants. There is also one I'd like to mention, the one of the most endangered animals in the world, the Mount Kenya bongo.
Yeah,
Uh, there are like 100 left now. We also have a wide variety of antelopes, including the biggest and the smallest. We have the dik-dik, which is the smallest, and the biggest, which is the eland.
and
Uh,
yeah, big. It looks like a cow.
yeah, it's like two cows stacked together.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. I don't know how. Yeah, it's bizarre, but they're quite gentle beasts. We don't have giraffes,
Mhm.
but we have zebras up Mount Kenya. I've seen them quite high, actually. It's very weird. So we have zebras. We also have hyenas, um, and we have over 150 species of birds. And the Abyssinian owl, which is my favorite, which is very hard to spot.
Mount Kenya, is it your biggest climb yet? Have you done any other bigger mountains? Do you want to do other bigger mountains or?
Yeah, I have hiked Kilimanjaro before.
Mhm.
I have That's my biggest summit, 5,800.
So you've done Kilimanjaro. How was it as compared to Mount Kenya?
Kilimanjaro is very challenging. 5,800, you're basically clinging on to nothing. Every step you make is just ridiculously hard. So Kili, I respect it a lot. It's a quite challenging mountain. It's also it takes much longer. 5 days is the minimum.
Yeah.
Some take 15 days, some take 20 days. But yeah, I personally would choose Mount Kenya again and again. Yeah.
And do you have any other plans of probably, I don't know, doing Everest or something?
It's a good question, because I even ask myself that question. Do I like want to do Everest? I would say the risk doesn't really is not worth it to me now.
Yeah, I watched a documentary on it, and so
Yeah,
many people die on Everest.
yeah, I'm not about to die. I'm quite young. I have a lot. But my favorite mountain, which I really want to climb one day, is the Matterhorn in Switzerland.
Why? Why that?
It's just beautiful. It's a very beautiful mountain. I've always loved it. It's very sharp at the top. It has a very distinct ridge.
That's even makes it even harder to climb when you say it's sharp.
Yeah,
And so let me ask you. So back to your injury.
mm,
Was there a moment like after you just felt your shoulder just pop?
yeah.
Like you said, maybe this is not for me. I should not do this again. Like was
Mm.
there such a feeling? I shouldn't climb mountains. I should just find something easier to do. Um,
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, I had a very big wave of emotions at that time, because I was like, "Whoa, did that just happen?" You know. And I've read about accidents happening on Mount Kenya, and people dying on Mount Kenya, and rocks falling on people and just tearing them to shreds. And these were horror stories to me. And being there, laying upside down, I was like, um, is this the end? Is this, have I broken, my limbs? And I was afraid. At that time, I was afraid. And I had a very things started flashing in my head. And I felt sad that I've not fulfilled whatever always wanted to do. I've made promises to many people, including you, that I will take you up the mountain.
Yeah.
Uh, so all of these came in those seconds, and I started hyperventilating, and it's these three guys who we were with who pushed me through and snapped me back to reality. There was no moment that came and I thought that I will stop doing this. I was afraid that I would potentially be told not to do this because I was worried. My leg was quite twisted in a bad way, so I thought that I had broken it or something, and that's an end career in mountaineering. Because a career in mountaineering means that you have all your limbs intact and you need to be tip top.
How long will it take for you to fully recover?
So it should take me. So that's 3 weeks of recovery of the shoulder, and then 2 weeks of therapy. So that means my muscles needs to get back to how they were,
Hmm.
and then to fully recover, I was told that it will take 4 months.
4 months. Wow. That
Yeah,
that gives me enough time to hike at least two different mountains, small to prepare myself because I really want to do Mount Kenya. It has always been since I started vlogging. It has always been one of the top things that I really want to do. And
yeah,
the reason why I haven't done it yet was maybe because of fear. Like
yeah.
maybe it will be my first vlog and my last vlog. So, so I never, and then also I never really got to do it. But I want. Last year, my biggest challenge or the thing that I challenged myself to do was scuba diving, which I did.
Okay,
I think so. I will do it before the end of the year.
yeah,
I want to get better, but before then, I'll try and do probably Longonaut, um,
yeah.
and something else. But yeah, it's one of those things that I want to do. And the
Um,
glaciers, are they
yeah.
vanishing or are they still there? Because I read
No,
they're coming back.
they're dying. They're dying.
Dying. Okay.
Vanishing. Yeah. So a dead glacier means that it's not producing new ice, it's not forming new ice, and it's not moving. So normally glaciers that are alive are moving, and they normally break, and you can hear like them producing like sounds inside.
Hmm. So it's going to take a few years for it to completely die.
Yeah, the prediction is by 2030, all the glaciers of Mount Kenya will be gone.
So
Yeah,
it won't have any white cap on it or
yeah,
anything.
yeah, which is sad. Yeah,
Yeah, I need to climb it before then.
yeah, you should.
Yeah, and then I wanted to ask you. I saw that you have two videos on YouTube. I can call you a YouTuber because you've done videos on YouTube. Do you ever consider just doing a series of your climbs? Because I haven't seen you do it. And then also, is it possible to swim in those lakes?
Um, yeah, so first the YouTube thing, I started it this year,
Mm.
uh, and I have a plan for it. Um, that is what you've mentioned. I want to do a series, me climbing the mountain, and I have a lot of time to think about this because I spend most of my time up there anyway, and I have all the gear that I need for it. So I have content lined up for a good series up Mount Kenya. So that's definitely happening.
That's good.
Um, Lakes, I'm apprehensive with this because if you're swimming and you go up to the summit and you don't dry, you may get hypothermia. And if you're swimming and it's cold, then you're not drying and you're not getting warmer. So normally hold this question off. If you want to swim, maybe just go on a swimming expedition, and that's okay. And during the dry season, that's totally acceptable.
And when is the best time of the year to climb as well?
I'll start with the best time to climb on Kenya. So the best time to climb is normally during the dry season. That's January to March. Uh, then we have the rains. They come in April, and then they stop around May. And then June and July are the cold seasons. They have cold and rain. And then we have August, which is a break from the rain season. And then we have some sunshine. And then September, the rains come back. And then the rains stop in the first week of January. So with that information, you normally pick what you prefer. If you prefer rain, if you prefer sunshine, it's okay. So with both, you don't really win with the mountain, because during the dry season, it's hot during the day and freezing cold during the night because you don't have cloud cover. During the rain season, it's raining, and it's cold during the day and warm during the night. So
Okay.
that's trade-off. That's normally the trade-off. You have to choose what you prefer. And because of climate change now, we can't predict what the weather is like. The whole of January is supposed to be dry season. It rained all the way through.
Yeah. Even
Yeah,
now, we're in March and
yeah,
it's still raining.
yes. So in our itineraries, we normally say prepare for everything and anything. So don't say because it's a dry season, I won't bring my rain jacket.
Yeah.
So always be prepared for rain and sunshine. Um, we normally work with my father, Paul. So he has been doing this since 1990. And my dad has a company called Paul Mac Tours, which we have a website for it. And you can reach him through his email, paulmactours@gmail.com. Mainly myself, I'm reached through Instagram. So
Yeah.
that's where I'm active. That's where I share my stories. That's where I share my images. So if you want to hike with me, just reach out via Instagram and we can arrange something.
Yeah. And then all these trips are assisted. So people should not worry about carrying, heavy,
Yeah.
equipment and heavy gear and, the warm clothes and all that. They are all assisted to carry, even food as well.
Yes. See, yeah. So you have a team with you. Each person, each client, or each visitor has a porter to carry their big bags.
Hmm.
So the chef is a professional chef who cooks, specializes in cooking meals in not so good situations. It's raining and he can still cook a very good meal. It's snowing, it's cold. They're very good chefs. And we normally have 3 meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and they're all hot meals. So we'll never give you canned food or anything. Um,
Thank you so much. We've had, I think, I can see 50 minutes, which is good. I've learned so
yeah,
much about mountaineering and the work that you do. And hopefully, you're going to work together. We're going to create content together. This is the first episode of this series that I'm starting, and I hope it goes well. So I hope people have learned a lot from you. And again, Paula Sana, get well so that we can do this and physically, and we can go climb the mountain.
yeah, I'll see you soon, Brian. Thank you very much for having me.
All right, Sasa. Thank you so much. Have a good evening.
You too. You too. Stay safe.
Stay safe and stay at home.
Yeah, I will.
Bye.
Thanks, man.